Peace and love. Peace and love, everyone. This is Butterscud, the neighborhood thug, coming back to you live. It's been a minute. It's been a few months, man. I been taking care of business, man, doing the things that artists do, which is make things, some valuable, some not. But I'm glad to be back. Glad that I can host and take it and get a little time with you before we go to and take care of other things, man. I'm hoping that you see me on YouTube. This is I have this on YouTube, Instagram, and I'm gonna have it on Facebook. So please tune in, man. We're gonna talk about a few things, man. It's a whole lot to talk about, especially since the last time we talked, man. The last time we talked, I guess it was Father's Day, and we got a lot off. Got a lot out. We talked about a few things, man, that was pertinent to me. Today, I know this ain't the most pertinent thing on my mind, man, but I want to talk about this T.I. and King situation, man, where there was a little kerfuffle that came up about them at a basketball game, football game. I think it was the Atlanta Falcons. It was in the skybox, and they got to discussing life in old times, man, and it seems that King took a hankering against what they were saying about him as being not street, not a guy that grew up in a neighborhood and everything where he had to fend for himself physically, mentally, and economically. You know, getting that money. Because T.I. basically he ran the game on him. He already did it. He already ran the play. He already did the hustling. He already did the womanizing, the making a name for yourself on the streets and everything like that. So and when you deprive a young man of that of living that life, good or bad, he's gonna take an exception to it. I understand that. And I'm gonna come at you in a different way where you're gonna it's not the way you think it's gonna be. Because it's easy to jump on a young man because he felt as though, he was being disrespected. And me as an older guy, T.I. age or older, you expect me to take his side, and and no disrespect to the fathers and the parents of these kids, and I agree with that. I'm not a person that agrees that tolerates disrespect. So I can understand how T.I. and Tiny wouldn't tolerate disrespect from their kids or their siblings or anybody. So I definitely understand that. But this is the bigger issue, man. The bigger issue with this is once we strip our kids of that street life and going through them things, what do you leave them? What do you give a king after you've done all the street stuff? You've done all the hard work, and all he has to do is, take it to the next level. But what's the next level for these young boys? Women too. After you take away all the stress and the beefing and the ramen noodle nights and the, and short money and no electricity and roaches and mice, what do you leave them? What do they strive for? Is there any umbrage in being a square? I find our women, they tend to not be able to adapt to square life. They want every woman you talk about, from a hood chick to doctors and lawyers, they're always talking about excitement and doing things and traveling and and living through negative situations. What does a black square have to do with any of that? That ain't gonna do nothing but have his woman half wanting him for him to take care of her, and half wanting to deal with another man because he's exciting and wild and new. And you can't be both. Not this age. You can't be around here, you know, going to black colleges and trying to, or going to white colleges and enemies and still acting like you street. You're going to jail. Your time is going to be wasted. Your time is going to be uh, between the streets and books. When really you need to be all about those books at that time. You need to be all about getting ahead, meeting people that's going to help you do business transactions and business and financial endeavors. You can't be out here worried about what a bag of weed going for, how many pills you can sell, or powder, any goddamn thing. None of that stuff means anything when you trying to get your education together. But your women want to do that, and they want you to be damn near Tupac in the streets. So what does that leave a king but to act out, act like he's really, street cat, when really, man, he don't really have to go through all that. Where do we leave him? When your father, he's been through it, so he's the epitome of what a fly Negro looks like. But he's telling you not to be like him, or not to do the things he did, which is that's difficult for a young man to work out. How will this man understand that, man, you don't want me to be like you, but you made millions off of being you. You don't want me to be in the streets, but that's all you talk about is the streets. And I've heard a few songs where he talk about cats, they got out of the street and call them lames and whack. How is that going to work in anybody's behalf? Especially the young guys, man, If we don't want them doing what we do, then we can't berate them for being, better or living a life where they don't have to go through the things we go through. This is a difficult time we're going through right now, man. You got to hunker down, Like the song, like the shirt says, it's called a duty. This is a time when you gotta make up your mind, man, to leave the streets alone. You gotta make up your mind to get an education, to find something that you want to do for the rest of your life that's gonna have you that you can benefit from later. As far as like having a trade or getting your PhDs or your MD, or anything. This is the time to start realizing, man, that this is what it's all about, man. I know I'm trying to show off for this shorty, so I want to look like I'm from the streets, yet I want to code change and get around these professors and these other, ethnicities or doctors or lawyers or whatever and act like, I'm down with that too, because somebody's going to see that you're not authentic. Somebody's going to see, man, you faking. Either the street's going to see it, or these people that you're trying to show that you're on an intellectual scale that they're going to see, man, you faking, man. You don't know what you say you know, because you haven't applied yourself. Either way, which is detrimental to any man that's trying to get ahead right now. As artists, man, we go through the same thing sometimes, man. We want to paint ghetto stuff and we want to do things, but then again, and we want to get our point across as far as drawing things, but then we're not fundamentally sound. Same thing that I'm talking about as far as us artists is what T.I. and King are going through. You're not fundamentally sound in the streets, King, so you can't be out here acting like, man, you stand on business like the young people say right now, man. Because what kind of business are you doing, man? What do you put a few cats on with some pills, or you might have, front of a nigga some love, but you probably know at the end of the day, man, they gonna run off with that. So that's not a viable choice for a young man right now. You need to get in them books, man. You need to find your trade, man. If you in the music, you need to, dive deep into that. far as production or lyrics or writing or anything, man. You know, this is the time when you gotta understand that, man, I can't live off my pops. And I gotta do my own thing. But the streets ain't part of that. Being out there in the streets, man, that's not gonna get you nothing but hurt or in jail. You see that Young Thug stuff ain't going well for them. YSL, lyrics being held against them and everything, all that stuff, man, that is part of the setup. So you gotta be smarter than that. You know, I don't know what their parents' situation was, but your parents' situation might be different from theirs. So you don't have to be YSL or pushing P or whatever they're talking about. You could be out here promoting and marketing, getting a degree, learning a skill, you know. That'll help you more than out here trying to act like you king of the streets, king of the South. Now your father was king of the South. Let's get on that. You do all these things, man, to help your kids do better, man. You help you get them out the hood, man. You put them in white neighborhoods behind fences and all kind of things, man. But you fail to realize, man, you stripping your son of character. You giving him things that he really didn't have to work for, so he takes for granted. And then you berate him for getting hostile with you because you stripped him of those attributes. And when you strip them of them attributes, you haven't given them a way out or something to do other than that, man. That's cool. So to get him out there in them streets, you get him off the streets, and then when he get out there, he's talking about how he wish he was in the streets, and then you bring up the pacify thing, and he wanted to be around his grandmother because he could do his thing. That's like a woman emasculating him. You basically emasculating him, and that's just as detrimental as a woman telling him he ain't shit for you to tell him that he grew up as a little young boy that didn't have to do anything, and he's basically a square, which square life, man, it's fine with us. I don't remember not one time me looking at a square guy and be like, look, man, you square, man, you ain't hitting on nothing except for maybe like, if you can't dress or something like that. But other than that, square life is good. Square life is will keep you alive. So, don't put him down because he had to be square. You just got to find him a outlet for that aggression. These young cats right now, man, they got that aggression in them, man. Don't get me wrong. They go through a lot of stuff. A lot of these guys, they lay up on their mamas, and they lay up on them, and they like to be up on the women, man. That's why when I was listening to you could tell that by the way certain people talk. As tall and big and as masculine as that tall guy that was talking all that trash, the last kid dude, he went around screwing people's wives and everything. As tall, you could tell he ain't been around a lot of men because you don't go around talking about how fine you are or how pretty a boy you are around grown men, around a group of grown men. Because people gonna be looking at you like, who the hell taught you how to talk? What is it? Sliim Thug, that's his name. Who the hell told you how to? You get around grown men talking about you fine. Wait, getting your head slapped off your shoulders. You don't get around motherfuckers talking about how women love you and everything like that because they gonna figure out, oh, okay, he gets off on woman attention, so let me send a chick out of man so I can do something to him through his women. You know what I'm saying? His days are good or bad commenced on what a woman has said or not said to him. And when you, like you say, you can tell when a grown man's been around other grown men, because they don't talk that, man, I'm fine, I'm this, man, and running off on the plug and stuff, because other men gonna look at this man like, man, he's a detriment to the community, to men in general. Or this mama don't know how to talk, man. He sound like he in a beauty salon some damn where. So you gotta watch what you say, man. You can be the issue. You keep sending your sons off to be with their mama instead of spending time with them. You send them off to listen to. I mean, to be up under their mama, man, listening to business when carry your ass outside or go in the room and play your game. Stop worrying about what these women in here talking about. Calling yourself fine. That's something your girl or your cousins or your baby sister used to say. You know what I'm saying? They might call them fine. You ain't supposed to be, repeating that shit. You're a grown man. Talk like grown men talk. I went off on a tangent, but I want to get back to the King T.I. situation. You gotta understand, man. You can't help emasculate your boys. You can't put their business out there in the street like that and think that they're gonna have a fighting chance of a guy not taking advantage of them. And see, like I was telling my sister, she was like, "Well, man, you agree with what he said?" I said, "I don't agree or disagree with the way T.I. handled that business, but don't give me ammunition like that to see you on the streets, man, because I'm the streets. I'm gonna use it against you. I'm gonna attack what I feel is the shortcomings of you, whether it be you sensitive, whether you be that you've been around a lot of women a lot and you don't understand how men get down. You're not mentally tough. I'm gonna peep that. People in the streets gonna peep that. I grew up with a grandfather, a father. You know what I'm saying? Mothers. So I know how it is to be well-rounded. I know how it is to understand both sides of the fence. But I also see the weakness of people that don't have that well-roundedness. I can see that guy, man, that, every time you say something to him, he gets in his feelings and he wants to snap out. So if I want him to quit, I'm just going to do things that make him snap out. As much as people say they love to get down, they don't love to get down every day. So if you keep that pressure on a weak dude, he gonna bound to break or he gonna quit. You know what I'm saying? If you see a guy and all he does is talk about women, or all he talk about is sex, or all he talk about is how he's in his feelings all the time. You got a man that can't handle certain situations, man, and there'll be a detriment to your thing. Especially if you're trying to build something strong, something the community and your women and your children can get behind. But when you got a guy who's losing because he in his feelings all the time, or he can't cope, then you have a problem. And your women raise guys like that. Now it ain't their fault all the time because you should be there right along with them. But when you can't, or you being held back from being on that, then that can happen. No shade to women, and no shade to the men that's with their women. It's those guys that, yeah, man, I ain't with the mama no more, so I don't deal with them no more. That's an issue. I would not go out here and tell you to be a stepfather to somebody that ain't yours. But then again, man, that's the situation that's out here sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I was always one of them cats, man. I come and I was always able to get along with a fairly 15, 16, 17-year-old, 18-year-old. And that's, and at my age, I don't meet a whole lot of women with baby kids. I meet a lot of women with men, teen to adult kids and stuff, man. And, you might hear me, getting physical with his mama or something like that, man, and I'll come out and I'll see him, and stuff like that. I might need a black or something like that. So I go to him and I'll be like, yo, man, you know how to drive? And he'd be like, he might be playing the game. He might be like, yeah, man, or no, not really. I said, man, run me to the store right quick, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me see how you, just to start a conversation with a kid. Just start a conversation with a teen, not just to be all about his mama. You know, this is the way that you can get uh, to these to these kings and these young cats, man, without it being something negative. You know, ask them some questions, man. Who you hang with, man? Who you be around, man? I might know them cats, you know, daddy or something like that. Stuff like that, man. That's how you're gonna be able to, you know, to get through to these kids. You know, you guys can be in gangs, man. You be like, man, what set you in, man? I mean, and then they be like, man, and I'm beefing with these cats over here, and you be like, hold on, man. I got a homeboy, man. His son in that, man. Y'all don't need to be beefing. Well, man, we know it ain't. It's an ongoing thing. Y'all can't get along. Let me talk to his pops and work that out. You see what I'm saying? That's how us older cats can help these younger cats, so that the kings don't be out here, man. You know what I'm saying? Looking at every older cat that's around his pop's age, or young, a little younger, or a little older, as the op. We ain't your ops, man. We here to help, man. We here to help you through your growth, and you don't have to be my son for me to, you know, take issue with. I mean, not take issue with you, but to help you out. I could have been having some, you know, I could have been dealing with your mama, but I've been in situations where I still deal with the young boy, and I don't even deal with the mama anymore, because I'm I made I'm in his life to help him out, man. He might know something that I don't know, or he might be able to do something that I can help him do. You know, he can help me do. But that's why these cats are not conducive to the black community anymore, man. The young don't deal with the old, and the old don't deal with the young, because we, truthfully, man, I hate to say it, man, most of us are over into the relationship with the woman. When sometimes you be like, man, look, she might not even really be about me, but I ain't come over here to see you. I came to see my man. You know what I'm saying? And the same way him, man. I'm like, man, if you got any problems, man, your mom talking that shit, give me a holler, man. You know, I come over there and scoop you up, man. We, you know, go to the court or something like that, man. Basketball court, watch a game, anything, man. Get you out the house. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't got to go through that. And then you look up, man, and the woman is worried about y'all relationship more than what me and her had. You know? So I know I'm going off on a tangent, man. I mean, it's still about the king thing, man. But I'm talking to you older cats, man. We got to start doing a little better, getting across to the younger cats, man, because they're looking at us as the ops. They're looking at us like, man, I don't even have to worry about white supremacy no more. I got to worry about y'all old niggas talking trash, and you know, and wanting to do shit with the mama and put me out and all that stuff, man. No, we don't want that for you. We here to help you, man. We here to, you know, to help you out, even when we ain't with your mama anymore. And there ain't no stepdaddy or no trying to be your daddy or anything. I'm not trying to son you. I want to help you out, man. I don't, you know, and the only reason, and a lot of you cats, man, as soon as you stop dealing with the mama, or the mama don't do it for you anymore, you want to cut everybody off. Your kids, your real kids, and the fake, and the kids is not the step kids. I know it's hard, man, trying to deal with everybody, man, when we got our own lives and things. But this is what's going to help build communities. Not you 24/7 thinking, man, it's all about me and what I can do. Sometimes you gotta have it is young boy, man. You man, damn, man, I'm going to the game anyway. Let me scoop the young boy up, see if he want to go, man. Especially if he got some manners. Now, if he one of them kids, he don't know how to talk to nobody, man, and he rude, and his mama told him to be emotional and weak, then yeah, man, you know, you might have to cut that boy loose. You might have to throw him back to the wolves. But if you can find a cat, man, and he, you know, he gives you any inkling, if he can poke his head up from that game, at least for like half out of 10, 15 minutes to talk to you, you're gonna have to show him some, you know, some grace. You're gonna have to do some things with him, man. You're gonna have to help him out, man. Like I said, man, I talk a lot about that, man. that stepdad thing. Because you can get caught up in that. You can get played. But then again, it's a fine line. This Go Hard Nation podcast, we deal with gray areas. All these black and white areas, they fine, man, but there's always a nook and cranny that things fall in that don't nobody deal with. And sometimes in this, especially in the black community, everything ain't black and white. It's the blurry gray. The stepmother, stepfather thing, that's a blurry line, man. You can't just go around doing some boys walk and tell me, man, the greatest thing is to be a stepdaddy. But then again, you can't go around and tell everybody that these kids don't deal with nobody unless they're your kids, because that don't work either. You know, it's a gray line, man. It's people that they want to get help. You could tell, man. If he look up from that game for 5 minutes and ask you any questions, you supposed to sit there and help him out. Now you said, now if he ain't open to that, you know, I wouldn't suggest pushing myself on you, but that's how it is. I say all that, and I'm coming back to this King situation, the T.I. King situation, is because, like you say, man, this guy, if he don't get, if he feels as though T.I. ain't the one for him that's gonna help him out anymore, he gonna get out in the streets, man. He gonna find somebody, and they're not gonna be as benevolent as me or any other person. You gonna find that cat, man, and be like, yeah, man, look, I got what you need. Where your pops at, man? You know, what he do? Where he be at on, you know, at this time of the day and this time of night? So you don't want your son turning into the ops on you. So you're gonna have to deal with it, and you're gonna have to give him something better than the streets to indulge in. You didn't push him to go to college. I don't know how he feels about music, and I don't know how he feels about sports or athletics or fashion, whatever. But he needs to find his way in life and go that way. And you need to help him do it, other than the streets. So, you know, I hope I got my point across on that, man. I hope that people understand, man, that this isn't easy, man. And I'm back, man. I'm gonna be back, man. You know, broadcasting, putting some more things out, man. I just had to do with life. I had to do life. I had to do what artists do, make things, either valuable or not. But I had to make them. You know, a whole lot of things going on, but I'm glad to be back, man. I'm gonna give it to y'all, man. I'm gonna give it to you. Plus, Go Hard gear and Pimp Nature gear is still on. It's still for sale. All you gotta do is get in touch with me if you want to drop something on Facebook, Instagram. You know how to get in touch with me. You can email me at gohardgear at AOL.com. You know, you can get artwork that I got. I'm working on a lot of other things, man. I'll be putting some portraits up that I did, man. And I hope, man, that we can get this thing popping, man. It's time to get financially in order. You know, I'm not trying to tell you what you need to do or what you need to buy or nothing, but I just want you to understand, man. I have things for sale, man. I hope that we get I hope I can get you something, man, that you can enjoy or like or can use and need. And let's get this thing popping, man. It's good to be back. A few things I gotta get taken care of, man. I'm trying to get this whole situation, man. I'm trying to get into editing. I'm trying to get into my lighting proper. I want to get my my act together. I've been working out and trying to get everything together. So, man, I'm hoping we can get it popping. Man, good to be back, man. It feels real good, man. The holiday season here. The weather's brisk and a little cool, man. You know, I'm always about that. I love to throw on a leather and a hoodie or some fur or whatever like that, man. You know, so just keep in touch, man. I'm glad that everybody's here, man. I hope that we can keep this going, man. So check me out, man. I'm going on YouTube. I'll be on Facebook. I'll be on Instagram. And this is the Butter Scud, the Neighborhood Thug, with the Go Hard Nation podcast. And peace and love, everyone. It's time to roll out. Let me get this thing popping. Peace.